Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming to the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in the monogram canvas. Alright, so grab a coffee, grab a tea, let's start our workouts, good work, let's do laundry, whatever it is that you're doing, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today, starting with the first question from Claire F. Do you see yourself stepping away from luxury anytime soon? I know I feel as though I'm starting to step away from it. Before anyone thinks something else, no, I'm not salty about these houses or others buying them, but I feel like I'm losing interest. I would love to hear your thoughts. This is an awesome question, and I completely understand where you're coming from. I have taken a step away from certain houses at times, especially when I start to have a lot of issues with wear and tear. I just decide to take either a 6-month break or a year break or what have you, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go this way for a little bit and gather my thoughts type of situation. And sometimes I feel like my interest comes in waves because I do see a lot of new collections. I see a lot of new designs out there, and sometimes I feel very underwhelmed, or I'm not too fond of the price point that they're charging for the item that it is. You know, like you see a $5,000 plastic handbag. It's not for me, but I completely understand that it could be for someone else, you know? So that's why I say that sometimes my interest comes in waves, because for the most part, I do appreciate classic silhouettes. I do appreciate certain styles, and once I see that a lot of these fashion houses start to move in a different direction, I'm not really feeling it, you know? But I will have to say that by taking a step back from certain houses or from luxury in general, I feel that you're able to enjoy what you currently have, or you're able to rotate your bags a lot more often. Or what I have found is that sometimes if you have a bag that's on the chopping block and you're not feeling it at all, sometimes you fall back in love with it and you understand why you added it to your collection in the first place, which I think is great. Instead of going down the rabbit hole of wanting to get the newest and latest bag because that's the cool thing to have, or that's what everyone is getting and your collection isn't complete because you don't have that item. You know what I mean? That's something that I know that we've talked about in the past. Plus, I feel that by kind of stepping away from luxury fashion houses in general, you're able to discover other brands out there that you would have never even thought about had it not been for taking that break. Plus, most importantly, I feel that lifestyles change or your tastes change. And with that change, you end up getting a different mindset that goes along with it. At least that's the way that I see it. Now, to answer your question, do I see myself stepping away from luxury anytime soon? I don't think so. Of course, only time will tell. But what I can say is that if these fashion houses continue to move in the same direction, if these fashion houses continue to abandon their heritage, or if they're not paying attention to quality control and they're still charging these prices, then yes, I do see myself stepping away from them. I do see myself just taking what I have, enjoying it, and saying absolutely no more. You know, but that's just the way that I see it. That's just the way that I feel, because I do have an appreciation for the history that a lot of these pieces have, or the history that a lot of these fashion houses have as well. But what about you guys? How are you feeling at the moment when it comes to luxury goods? Do you feel like you're over it? Do you feel like maybe, you know what, maybe no more, I'm just gonna enjoy what I have? Or how are you feeling about a lot of these new designs? Because like I said previously, sometimes I feel underwhelmed. I feel like it's the same thing over and over again, or maybe they're just trying to push the envelope. They're trying to have that wow factor, which I completely understand is someone's cup of tea, but it's definitely not mine. But like I said in the beginning, I completely understand where you're coming from, and maybe by taking a break from them in general, you're able to discover something else, or you're able to fall in love with the pieces that you currently own, and you're able to rotate them a little bit more as well, you know. But either way, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Yeji. Hopefully I said that correctly. What do you think of handbag raincoats? I have 2 different size handbag raincoats that I always keep handy in case I need it. I recently went out one night with a few people and it was raining. After leaving the restaurant and waiting for our car, it started to rain. I immediately opened my purse and got the raincoat to cover her. And although no one said anything, my husband and I did notice some people making faces. This is an awesome question. And when it comes to handbag raincoats, personally, they are not for me. But I do appreciate the fact that they keep your handbags looking fantastic in any type of weather. And as you mentioned, you carry it in your bag for those just in case moments. You know, what if you go out and the skies are blue, 5 minutes later it ends up turning gray and it starts to rain? You are prepared. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Now, when it comes to rain, personally, I do like to use my Carefree handbags. I do like to go for Damien Ben from Louis Vuitton, or I like to go for my caviar pieces from Chanel. And there's something that I do that I know a lot of people aren't fond of, but for those of you that follow me on Instagram, many of you know that when it starts to rain, I like to use I like to use those handbags, as I mentioned. I will go out in the rain and I will take a picture of the raindrops hitting the bag. Some people are like, no, don't do that. But there's a type of satisfaction that I get. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I love the rain and it's not something that we get too often here, but I digress. You know, but at the end of the day, the fact that you are protecting your handbags and for those just in case moments, I think that's wonderful. Now, I don't know what type of handbag the people that you were with were carrying, but let them make faces. Let them say something. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one with a handbag collection where your pieces look fantastic for years to come because you knew and you had the foresight to protect them just in case there was some type of weather that you weren't expecting. Because like I said before, sometimes the skies are blue and 5 minutes later it turns gray and it starts to rain. And what ends up happening if you're carrying a lambskin bag? What are you going to do? You know, the fact that you have a raincoat with you, I think is awesome. So while they're not for me, I do appreciate what they bring to the table. You know, so if you feel comfortable wearing them, if it gives you peace of mind, and most importantly, if you like it, that's all that matters. And you continue to rock your raincoats like it's nobody's business, because these handbags are way too expensive and they're way too pretty to not care how they end up wearing. You know what I mean? But that's just the way that I see it. I know some people might see it differently, and to each their own. But no, if it makes the handbag look awesome for years to come, then I am all for it. But I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about handbag raincoats? Let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Monica Rosewood. If you had to choose between the Louis Vuitton round coin purse and the key pouch or clay, which would you get first? Or could you possibly do a comparison video? All right, so I did bring them both out, so we have a little bit of eye candy, but this is the Louis Vuitton round coin purse and the monogram canvas, and the Louis Vuitton key pouch and the monogram canvas as well. I think both of these small leather goods are awesome, but out of the two, hands down, I'm gonna have to say the key pouch. This was actually my first small leather good, my first luxury piece, and I absolutely love it. Now, as I said before, I think both of them are great, and I know a lot of people that use the round coin purse kind of like a catch-all. Some people use it for their earbuds, and it's really great to be able to use it various ways into your lifestyle. I personally only use it for my coins, just because I can't stand the residue inside of any of my wallets or anything like that. So this is strictly for coins for me. But this guy, I feel like the possibilities are endless when it comes to the key pouch, because you can use this as a coin pouch as well. You can use it for your keys, you can use it as a wallet, you can use it as a bag charm. I feel like so intense about the key pouch. I mean, I'm sure some of you, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know how I feel about it. But I think that this is fantastic, you know. Not saying that this isn't a great small leather good, but just the way that it comes down to my personal lifestyle, I feel that I get a lot more versatility out of this guy than I do this one. Plus, I also like the fact that even though they're somewhat similar as far as, you know, they both have zippers, so they have that security, I do like the fact that this guy does come with a little chain. So that way, I don't know, I just feel that, again, this gives it a lot more versatility versus this guy that just has the secured zipper, you know what I mean? So I think both of them are wonderful. I don't know if this ends up helping you out, but if it were me, if I had to do it all over again, I would still end up going for this guy. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Josie Martinez. Do you think that it's bad to have a lot of black handbags? I love the look of a black bag and gold hardware. I do own a Louis Vuitton Speedy 25 mono, and that's the only color bag I have, and all of my other ones are black and gold. And I'm looking forward to my Chanel Classic flap in black lambskin with gold hardware. But I look at my bags and I feel like I have a lot of black with gold and no color. But I don't want a color classic flap. Help, what do I do? Or does this bother anyone else to have one color but different styles / brand of handbags? This is an awesome question, and I completely understand where you're coming from, because I too love a black handbag with gold hardware. There's just something about it, and I feel that it's very easy to dress up and dress down, you know. So do I think that there's anything bad with having a lot of black handbags? Absolutely not. I have a lot of black handbags, and you said it perfectly. You have different styles and you have different brands, and even though they are similar shades, I feel that each one brings something different to the table that the other one doesn't have. It's kind of like if you were to ask someone about 2 black shoes. You know, some people end up seeing just 2 black shoes. Other people, like myself, will see that this black shoe is perfect for day wear, This black shoe is perfect for evening wear, and I feel like that's the same thing when it comes to black handbags. You know, each one brings something different to the outfit that the other one doesn't have. You know, so I don't think that there's anything wrong with having all black handbags. Absolutely not. Especially because black is such, it's a no-brainer. You know, you can incorporate it into your wardrobe very easily. It goes with everything and anything, you know, and you don't have to worry about color transfer or anything like that. But if you still wanted to add a pop of color into your handbag collection, I would recommend going for something smaller or go for something with a friendlier price point just to kind of get your feet wet, just to see if it ends up working out for your lifestyle, if it ends up working out for your wardrobe. You know, because in my experience, sometimes I found that I really like a color, like I'm obsessed with a color, I think it looks fantastic, but then I realize that I maybe like the idea of it, but when push comes to shove, I always end up kind of leaning towards black. A perfect example. Many of you know that I want to add a Lady Dior to my collection. I want to add a black lambskin Lady Dior. I still can't decide if I want silver hardware or gold hardware. I mean, this bag has been on my wish list forever and a day, but I get a lot of people that tell me, no, you need to go for color. You need to incorporate more color and go for more color because I have so many black handbags, which I appreciate. But at the end of the day, I feel most comfortable with black. So that's what I'm going to go for, you know? So that's why I say going for something smaller just to see how it ends up working out for you might be the best way to go. And who knows, you might end up loving having colored handbags. And then that might be the direction that you might move forward enough to where you feel comfortable going for a classic flap in a different color, you know what I mean? But I'm super, super excited for you. The black lambskin with the gold hardware is insanely beautiful, you know, but it's all a matter of personal preference, you know, because there are so many people out there that don't have a single solitary black bag and they prefer color. They want to have that pop, you know, for their outfits, where you have other people that have only black bags, or you have someone like me that has a little bit of a mix of both. But I gotta say, when it comes to black and gold, I just think there's something about it. It is just gorgeous, you know, but that's my cup of tea. So once again, I'm super excited for you. Congratulations on your soon-to-be bag, and hopefully this was able to help. Next question from Gordon Jackas. Hopefully I said that correctly. So my Louis Vuitton sales associate has been the absolute best for about 2 years now. What's a good way to say thank you? I think that's awesome. And in the past, I've given them gift cards, flowers, chocolates, bottles of champagne. Some I've gotten really, really close to, and I've been able to take them out to lunch, or I've been able to gift them something for their birthday or for Christmas. And it doesn't have to be something extravagant, you know, just a way of acknowledging everything that they've done for you, I think is always nice. Now, I know that we have talked about this in the past, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember reading that some people had said that when it comes to gifts for associates, the gift cannot be valued at more than $25 because some have said that it can be viewed as a bribe. Again, please let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm mistaken. I do remember seeing this, and I don't know if that's necessarily for all fashion houses or if it's only for Louis Vuitton. But either way, if any of you guys have any information on this, let us know in the comment section down below. I've never had an associate or even the manager say, hey, you can't gift that to them or anything like that. So that's why I said if you guys have any information, let us know. Sometimes you're able to develop such an awesome relationship that it's no longer an associate, it is a friend. And you go in there to see how your friend is doing. You know, how's your family? How are your kids? How was school? And it's not necessarily about shopping for this bag or checking out this small leather good. I mean, it's always a bonus that they work at, you know, one of your happy places, like Louis Vuitton is one of my happy places. But I think it's always great just to say thank you, just to acknowledge once again everything that they're doing for you, especially if they're able to locate something that's really hard to find, or if they let you know about pieces before they launch type of scenario, you know. But I know some people feel differently about this, and that's totally fine. But I'm the type of person that I like to say, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But those are some of the things that I have done in the past. I would love to know what are some things that you guys have done in the past. Let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Cheryl Griffith. I loved your video on your new bum bag. I just got mine and I was inspired to use my Pochette Métis strap also. I couldn't tell from the mod shots, but where did the Vachetta strap go? Well, first and foremost, major congratulations on your bum bag. I am so excited for you. And I did bring mine out, so we have a little bit of eye candy. Now, when it came to incorporating the Pochette Métis strap to this bag, all I ended up doing, because unfortunately you can't remove these straps, all I ended up doing was I minimized the size of the strap. I ended up putting it on the smallest setting when it comes to these these adjustments and I move the slider as much as I possibly could. So that way it's still attached to the bag and I don't feel that it ends up kind of sticking out the bottom. It doesn't stick out the top or anything like that. So it's really out of the way, you know, and the fact that you're able to incorporate a little bit more versatility and use it kind of like a saddlebag with that strap, I think is awesome. But yeah, that's all I ended up doing. I just minimized this guy just so it's out of the way and it doesn't necessarily hang out. You know, like if you see me from the front, it's not just sitting there just, hey, how you doing type of thing, you know? But I think that it ended up working out the best. And I'm still gonna try to figure out a way if there's something that I can do to make, I don't know, to make it even more versatile. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm gonna try. But yeah, that's all I ended up doing. So hopefully that ends up helping out. But once again, major congratulations on your bum bag. And I hope that you're enjoying it. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Nazia K. Hopefully I said that correctly. I'm interested in purchasing a zip coin purse after hearing your positive reviews on this type of small leather good. Which one would you suggest between the Louis Vuitton zippy coin purse and the one from Chanel? I'm particularly interested in hearing about the wear and tear on both. All right, so before I get any further, let me insert a couple of pictures of the Louis Vuitton zippy coin purse right now. I love that the zippy coin purse is available in a variety of different textures, and it does have 4 credit card slots. You have 2 on either side, and then you have that middle compartment. And then this is the Chanel O-Zip coin purse. Now this one doesn't have credit card slots, it just has 3 open compartments. And in the past, I used to have a few different zippy coin purses. I had some that were in canvas and some that were in leather. I think both of these small leather goods are fantastic, and both of them, in my opinion, wear fabulously. I have never had any issues with pop stitches. I never had any issues with cracked canvas when it came to the zippy coin purse, and there were some that I had for years and I didn't experience any type of issues whatsoever. Now between the two, I personally prefer the Chanel one just because I think that these compartments are a lot more generous than the zippy coin purse. Yes, I do like the fact that you do have those credit card slots and you can double them up no problem, but I just felt that if I wanted to add a little bit more, or if I was downsizing from a full-size wallet to a compact wallet, I couldn't fit as much as I do in this one, as I couldn't fit as much in the zippy coin purse as I do in this one. At least that's, you know, that's my experience. And I also feel that even though they are both compact, the zippy coin purse is a little bit taller. So if you do have, for example, an Eva clutch, it does fit in there. But if you want to maximize your space, or if you want to get away with carrying more small leather goods, I think that this one is still compact and it doesn't take up as much space as the zippy coin purse. You know, but I will appreciate, kind of like what I said previously, that you do have different textures to go for, because with Chanel they're all leather versus Louis Vuitton you can go for canvas, you know, and it has an awesome price point. I do believe that they retail for, is it $390? $390 if I'm not mistaken, whereas the Chanel ones start at, I think they're now $650 maybe, or $675, I can't remember. You know, and the leather Louis Vuitton ones start at $605 for the Empreinte, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that the Epi leather is a little less expensive than that. But again, you have a lot more options, you know, to go for if you're unsure of how it might end up working out for your lifestyle, and you don't necessarily want to go for an all leather type of small leather good. But I think that they're both great. As I mentioned previously, I never had any issues with wear and tear, no issues with pop stitches or anything like that. I just feel that between the two, this one has more give. You're able to maximize your space a lot more, and the fact that it is more generous when you open it up, in my opinion, is what ends up working out the best for my lifestyle, you know. But the zippy coin purse is super, super cute, so I don't think you can go wrong with either. I don't know if this ends up helping you out, but I'm super excited for you, and congratulations on whichever one you decide to go for. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Sarah L. Would you recommend to use a strap on the classic Louis Vuitton Speedy 25? I have a Speedy Bandolier in monogram, and I'm thinking about buying one in demi-azur. Do you think that it works out to use the Speedy B strap on a classic? This is a fantastic question. Now, I know that a lot of people do end up using straps on their classic bags, and they haven't had any issues, which I think is fantastic. Personally, this is something that I don't recommend doing, because I feel that it ends up putting a little too much strain on the canvas. It ends up putting a little too much strain on the leather tabs, and there isn't enough support for the weight of the bag. And I wanted to bring out my classic Speedy 30 just to give you guys a little bit of a visual. I know that you said that you were talking about a Speedy 25. Unfortunately, I don't have have one of those, a classic anyways. So this is the classic demi-azur in the size 30, and I have it fully loaded with the items that I have in my Neverfull. Now what ends up happening is that when it's fully loaded and I don't use an organizer, everything goes down to the bottom. You end up having that Speedy sag, right? I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it. I absolutely love it. But you can also see that because of these tabs, it's not putting too much strain on the zipper. It's not putting too much strain on here because these end up distributing the weight evenly. Now, if I was to attach a Speedy bandolier strap to the classic bag, I'm gonna put the strap on either side. This is what ends up happening. So instead of holding it from the other tabs, this is what you got going on. So you have a lot more strain on this part of the canvas, and then you have a lot more strain on this tab to the point where I feel that it might end up causing it to either crack sooner, or it might end up causing this to, God forbid, end up kind of popping off, or you might end up experiencing some type of pop stitches. You know, so this has always been, I know that it's very convenient if you do have both style of handbags. And as I said previously, I know that a lot of people have done this in the past and they haven't had any issues with cracked canvas. They haven't had any issues with pop stitches or anything like that, which I think is amazing. But this is just something that I personally would avoid, you know, but to each their own. This doesn't make me feel comfortable, you know, especially because I don't have as many items as I would normally end up carrying in a Speedy. You know, but you end up having, you still have that Speedy sag, but I think that you have that strain right here. It ends up being a lot more noticeable. So there it is on one side, here it is on the other. So this part right here, I think that it's just a little too, it's a little too much. And if you end up doing it maybe once or twice, I don't think that's a big deal. But if it's something that you continuously do, it might, I'm not saying it will, it might end up causing the canvas to wear differently than it should. You know, so like I said before, this is something that I don't recommend doing, but if you feel comfortable doing it, by all means go for it. But if you do want to go for a Speedy bandolier, I would just end up using the strap with those, or something that has enough support, you know, so that way you don't have to worry that it's going to rip off the tab or anything like that. I want to insert a side-by-side shot of me carrying this bag as a classic bag, just handheld, and I also want to insert a shot of me carrying it with the strap, just so you guys have a better visual. So I don't know if this ends up helping out, but I would love to know, for those of you that do end up using a strap with a classic bag, let us know how that's working out for you. The more information that's out there, the better. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to help. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. And I also wanted to say a huge thank you for those of you that shared what you would end up changing about the luxury community. There were a lot of interesting things that came up. And I'm wondering, do you think I should do like a video on them and maybe discuss them further, or give you my 2 cents on them, or should we discuss them on Minks Monday? Let me know in the comment section down below, or should we just leave it at that and just continue on Minks Monday? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comment section down below. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.